Say what you mean what you say. Welcome to day 93 of our Supersize You annual challenge. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. And today we're talking about communication, of course. Communication all this month. This is our communication timeline, which we'll talk about one of these days. And we're talking about communicating clearly. I don't know about you, but I like to think sometimes about, and after I have a conversation or an experience with somebody that doesn't go exactly how I thought it would or how I had planned, I like to think about, well, what did I do? What did I say? What could I have said better? Did I use vague language? Because I have found that most of the conflicts we have as human beings are based on language and the way we communicate, or the way we don't communicate. In this case, we're talking about clarity. Clarity builds confidence and trust and builds relationships and helps us get our expectations and needs and desires met. Vague communication, on the other hand, creates confusion. And what does a confused mind say? A confused mind says no. Why? Because our subconscious is always trying to keep us comfort zone, status quo, where it thinks we will be safe. Even if we want to do something that is totally in our own best interest, if our subconscious says no, guess what? We're not going to do it. We're not going to get it done no matter how hard we try. So today, let's think about our language and pay attention to our language. What are we saying? How are we saying it? Are we being clear and concise? And then check in with the other person, like yesterday, active listening, and find out if they actually understand what we're communicating. Are we sharing expectations? Are we telling people what we need and how we want to be treated? Or are we expecting them to be mind readers? I joke with my daughter pretty often that I'm not a mind reader because she'll want me to do something or expect something. We just went on a road trip and discovered that legally blind people are not great navigators or co-pilots. And so I think the expectations, if we would have set them at the beginning of the trip, would have been much clearer than during the trip. But we had a great trip. We always have a great trip. But clever, vague, indirect communication, hinting at something instead of just saying, hey, this is what I need you to do. Please, can you help me with this? We'll hem and haw around topics, especially if it's something that we don't really want to commit to or something that we think is going to cause conflict or a disagreement. I know a lot of people, I remember in my corporate days when we were doing performance reviews and performance appraisals all the time. Most managers absolutely dreaded doing that. I, on the other hand, loved doing it because I would focus on, hey, this is what you're doing. Great. Keep doing that. Do more of it. This is what you could use a little work on and what other people have given you feedback on. Because I would do 360 feedback, I called it, or I would have them pick a group of, I didn't want it to be more than 10 people usually, but sometimes people like to have a lot of people in on their feedback. And they would send out a pre-formed survey of people so that they could rate their performance. And then we would get together in a meeting and everybody would just tell you how they think you're doing, what you do well, what they'd like to see you do more of or less of, etc. And it was a really positive experience. But most people don't have positive experiences with feedback annually from their boss. It's sad, but true, because they usually get given vague comments that have really nothing to do with them or their performance. So what are we going to do today? I want to challenge you, because this is a challenge, right? To practice extreme clarity today. I want you to think about every communication that you're doing, and chances are you won't, because we talk almost as much as we think in any given day. But I want you to pay attention to the language that you're using, the way you're expressing yourself. Is it building a bridge between you and the other person with respect to understanding and communication and clear language, good choice of words, confident choice of words? Is it communicating what you want it to? And then watch how people respond. One of the things I do, I think pretty well, is share expectations with the people that I work with and share expectations with people that are on our team, etc. Because I know how important it is there's enough ambiguity in our roles, in all of the roles that we play, that it's refreshing to know, hey, here's our expectations. The first thing I do whenever we have a new person come in is sit down with them and we go through the expectations of the job, things about the culture that we want to maintain, right? We bring those things up and we discuss them so they don't have to figure everything out themselves, because that's the hard way. So what are we going to do today? I guess we're going to ask ourselves a couple of questions. Number one, Where do I hide behind vague communication? Because I'm afraid it's going to cause a conflict or because I don't want to commit. Sometimes somebody asks me to do something. I admit it. I do this too. And I really don't want to do it because I have other priorities. And that's exactly why, because I have other priorities. And instead of just saying no and then being quiet, of course, I have to give a bunch of explanations, which just muddies the waters, right? No is no. And no isn't not no forever. It's no right now. And it's a complete sentence. Every single one of us has the right as a human being to say, no, not going to do that. Nope, not going to buy into that. Nope, not a priority for me. Nope, just no. To any request that people make of us, right? We're not required to do anything that other people want us to for the most part. And I'm not going to talk about breaking the law and stuff because that's just a given. So then try this today. Clearly communicate, or just let's do something easier than that. I want you to practice radical clear communication today, but also in the comments below, complete this sentence. Communication, clear communication, not just communication, because we all communicate, whether it's clear or good or bad or not. Clear communication is blank. Just fill in the blank. You can just write one word if you want, because it's going to be clear communication is, and maybe I'll use that as a comment. Because I want to see what our current immediate thought is about clear communication. It's one of those things that some people do it naturally. Some people are very good, clear, concise, specific communicators. Others, not so much, right? We add a whole bunch of flourish and junk to the message that we're trying to communicate. Sometimes with feedback, it's to soften the blow. Other times it's to make ourselves feel better. Usually it's to make us feel better or make us feel safe, because guess what? None of us likes conflict. At least nobody I know. All right, any questions about this? If you need any help, if you're not sure, if you want to have a conversation about clear communication, that would be fun. Otherwise, go out, make it an awesome day, and I will, of course, see you tomorrow. Bye. I won't see you clearly, but I'll see you.